What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. This is your GOAT Racing League Beef Jerky Unlimited Series, and this is your cutoff race to your Championship 4. So we're going to find out tonight who will be racing for a championship next Thursday. You'll see your drivers in yellow on the screen on the tower. Those are your 7 drivers tonight, as one is not here, that are going to be racing to make that final 4. And the one driver you will not see on track is Ron Walsh, who may be safe in the points even without being here tonight, but we will find out soon enough. 125 laps from now. Going into your grid on the front row, Aaron Jackson gets the pole with a 19.917. Reynolds to the outside. Bud Shearer inside row 2 with Ricky Udding to the outside. Row 3, Jeff Ramsdale, Charles Van Scoik. Row 4, you're going to have Cody Sturgill and Maurice Burnett. Row 5, Philip Schmitz, Brandon Burkhart. Row 6, Samuel Harrell and Christoph Hall. Filling in the rest of the field, you're going to have Dakota Kramer in the 13th spot with Gerald Livingston to the outside, and Richard Crane will be in 15th to start tonight's race. Little bit of race info for you, brought to you by Admin Box. Saw the commercial there at the beginning. The button box with all the buttons to throw, cautions, all that good stuff if you're an Admin League owner. 125 laps tonight. Stage 1 will end at lap 25. Stage 2, lap 55. Sets of tires in the pits. They will have 2 extra 50% fuel, 1 green, white checkered, 74 degrees outside, 45% humidity. Cloudy skies with a 5-mile-an-hour wind. And the pace car is off, and they are heading into the Geico restart zone. And that will throw the green flag here at Martinsville to decide the Championship 4. And down into turn 1, Reynolds already getting a good start on the outside. He's going to steal the lead away from Jackson, as it looked like a little bit of a tire spin. And now he's got rear damage. Makes me wonder who's got the nose damage from getting into the back of him. Maybe a little bit on Bud Shearer there. Maybe not. Maybe just a little buckle. Make their way into turn 3. Reynolds still out front by about 0.3 of a second. This is a tricky track. Martinsville is. Tempers tend to flare. It's either a really good race here or a ton of cautions. So far we are clean through the first 3 laps, and once again your drivers in yellow are your championship drivers. And we will take a look at the points here in just a little bit, as we have a very close race to decide who those 4 drivers will be. And actually our first caution is gonna fly, and it looks like about the entire field is involved, except for maybe the top 5. See if we can get a look at what happened here. I know Crane was involved. Looks like Crane might get a little bit. Nope, it actually happened above him. The 24 got loose out of the corner, and everybody just kind of piles in. See if we can get a look a little bit further back here. So the spin has already happened, and just nowhere to go for these drivers. Martinsville's a very tight track, so you don't have a lot of room to avoid here. As you can see there, Burkhart able to get on the brakes, get the car completely stopped to stay out of this one. So that'll be good for him, as he is one of your championship drivers trying to get to that final 4. So no damage to him, but a lot of damage to quite a few drivers in that one. It didn't look like anything too bad, though. So we'll see how that fares out for some of these guys. Back to the live action here. I don't expect to see anybody on pit road except for the ones fixing some of the damage on their cars here. Especially the ones that need those stage points. Because again, those stage points are going to come into big play here to get those points to move on to next week and try to race for that championship. Because you get 10 points for first place. 9 for second, 8 for third, all the way down to 10th for that last single point at the end of a stage. And that first stage is going to end at 25. And we will take a look at your points just to let you know exactly where everybody stands. So again, Ron Walsh is in first place. He's not here this week, but he is 34 points ahead. So there's a good chance he could be safe, seeing that we have a little bit of a smaller field tonight. Aaron Jackson is 14 above the cut line. Charles Van Scoik is 2 above, and Sammy Harrell is 1 above. Brandon Burkhart, who we just saw, was able to stay out of that caution and stay out of that wreck. He is -1 right now, so he definitely is looking to get up in that top 10 and see how many points he can get. Ricky Udding is -8. Ramsdell is -10. Maurice Burnett is -23. So Maurice is kind of in a winner go home situation here. So we'll see if he's able to come up with some kind of different strategy or something that might let him get into that final four. As the pace car dives off once again, we will take the green flag right now. Lap 9 of 125. Another tire spin from the 12. He's struggling on the restarts. Definitely something as a driver you're going to pay attention to when you have to restart behind the 12 there. He's 2 for 2 on spinning the tires. As Reynolds is going to get out to the lead for RBS Racing here, followed by his teammate Bud Shear in second. Don't expect to see these drivers race each other too hard, seeing as they are teammates. Unfortunately, both of them out of the playoffs at this point of the season. But Bud Shear is always one of the favorites here to win at Martinsville. He says this is his favorite track, and it's the track that he is best at. And he has shown it time and time again when I've raced with him and broadcasted races here at Martinsville. Back to the field. 3 through 7 right now is where all your playoff drivers are sitting. From Jackson back to Ramsdale. Burkhart's in 10th right now. And Burnett. That's Maurice. He's got to pretty much win tonight to get enough points and lock himself in. But these drivers are trying to get everything they can right now. And just not a whole lot of room to pass here. You're going to probably have to see a lot of bump and runs. And I just don't think people are willing to put that bumper there yet and upset anybody that could hurt them later in the race. Oh, as the 43 gets turned, either got loose or got turned. Couldn't quite tell from the angle we had. Go back and take a look here. Excuse me. 43 goes into the corner, gets a little tight, pushes up. 23 just not able to stay off of him because the 43 woed up so much in that corner. Looks like he just overdrove the corner a hair, and when he got on the brakes, it locked that car up, pushed it up the track a little bit. And just unfortunate for Sammy. Another one of your playoff drivers, 23. We'll have to see if he has any nose damage from that, because it didn't look too bad, but you just never know with these cars. Still 10 to go in the stage, so I do not expect to see anybody on pit road again, except maybe your drivers that may have some damage from the previous caution. Fuel, they're good. They're going to save those tires for later in the race when it's going to really matter. And Reynolds, still your leader here at Martinsville. Again, this series is sponsored by Beef Jerky Unlimited. They do have a website. They are based out of Michigan. BeefJerkyUnlimited.com. You can go order yourself some beef jerky. They got all different kinds of flavors. They got beef jerky. I believe they got turkey and pork. So whatever's your favorite there. And then they've got from sweet flavors to very hot flavors. And everybody that I know that has tried it says it is one of their favorites. So if you are a beef jerky fan and you're watching the race tonight, go check out that BeefJerkyUnlimited.com. Order yourself some beef jerky and let us know what you think of it. Lights are going to go off on the pace car here. Reynolds is still going to be your leader. Bud Shear's still going to be in second for this restart. Aaron Jackson's currently in third. The outside of him will be Ricky Udding. Charles Van Scoik in fifth. Ramsdale in sixth. Dakota Kramer in seventh. Christoph Hall currently sitting in eighth to the outside there. And row 5, topping out your top 10, Brandon Burkhart and Sammy Harrell. Pace car is off, back into the restart zone. The 94 once again gets a great jump. Bud Shear trying to stay to the outside, but it's going to fall in line here. And once again, RBS Racing is going to dominate this restart. And Jackson's going to fall in line in third, followed by teammate Ricky Udding. Van Scoik clearing Ramsdale here to take that 5th position away. And we'll see if he's able to gain any more in the next 5 laps to the end of the stage. And see how many points he can get, as once again, Charles is just 2 points above the cut line. So every point he can get here is going to help, especially ahead of Sammy and Burkhart. Those are the 2 drivers right behind him in the standing. So every point he gains on them is going to be huge on making his way to the final 4. Right along back up front, Justin Reynolds, lap 22 out of 25 here for stage 1. Is holding the lead on Bud Shear in the 93 there. And everybody's just kind of a little bit spread out right now for Martinsville. Kind of minding their own business here in stage 1 as much as they can. Trying not to make any enemies. Save that for the end of the race when it comes down to win and in or not making the playoffs. So we right along here with the 12 of Aaron Jackson, who's trying to make his way back up here to the 93. Bud looks like he may be looking to make a move on teammate Reynolds here before the end of the stage. As we ride along, lap 24 of 25. Out of the corner they come to take the white flag for the stage. And we'll see if Bud is able to make a pass here. I don't think he's going to have quite enough. As your stage 1 winner, and it sounds like someone may have lost the car. Jeff Ramsdale involved with the crash right at the end of the stage. And it looks like Reynolds will be your winner. Bud will finish second in that stage. Aaron Jackson is going to be third with Ricky Udding fourth. So good points for both of those drivers. Charles Van Scoik's going to get him a good chunk of points as well, as he comes in 5th for the stage. Burkhart was in 7th. That'll get him 4 stage points to try to make his case for the championship race. It currently looks like, as long as I got the points correct here for the end of stage one, we may have currently a tie for that fourth spot between Harrell and Burkhart. So once again, stage points and a finish is going to be huge for those two drivers. And Charles is just about 4 points ahead of them, and that's just a rough, quick counting. But it's already looking to be interesting here. Now we'll start to see the drivers come down pit road. Some of them have already made their way on. Looks like some of these drivers are just going to stay out, take what they got at the end of stage 2 here, which will be lap 55. And then they'll make their pit stop, get a set of tires. A lot of nose damage there to the 36 of Crane, so we'll see him on pit road for a little bit, trying to get that fixed up. I don't know why, but those are on there. There we go. Justin Reynolds, once again, your stage 1 winner from Florida in the G.O.A.T Racing League here. He runs for RBS Racing, as we have mentioned, and you can see there on the picture. Teammate right behind him in the 93 for RBS. Your league owner, that's Charles Van Scoit, currently sitting in the 11th position after finishing the stage. In 5th, came in. Looks like he may have gotten a set of tires to go get some stage points here. So we'll see how that fares for him. Pace car's going to make its way off. It's heading down pit road right now. And we are going to take the green flag here at Martinsville once again. To lap 55 for stage 2. Reynolds going to get a good jump out front. Shearer falls in line once again. Jackson's going to hold that inside line. And he's going to clear Udding for 3rd. Dakota Kramer now up in the top 5. That's your hard charger for the race. He's up 8 spots. Has not pitted yet. So we'll start to see if any of these guys that came in and took new tires, we'll see how these tires, if they give them any advantage here on this short track after so few laps. A lot of nose damage there to the 8 of Burnett. I do apologize. I actually forgot to go back and check that wreck out at the end of the stage. I think this was... No? Let's see if we can get a replay. This is what happened at the end of the stage. The 97 got loose into the corner. Came down on the car below him. Got into the outside wall. So that was the caution that ended stage 1. Jeff Ramsdale involved with that, one of your playoff drivers. Looks like he was able to get the car pretty well. Yeah, not necessarily fixed, but back on the track. Not too much damage. Shouldn't hurt him too bad here at a short track, because you can run Martinsville basically with a modified, so he should be all right. He'll be able to get up there and get some stage points depending on what happens in front of him. Might have some handling issues though. You just never know. Sammy Harrell 2 laps down now. That one's gonna hurt. He's gonna need a couple cautions here and hope that nobody else goes a lap down. so he can get back on that lead lap and race for position here, as he's currently sitting in the last position of 15th. Reynolds still out front by half a second on Bud Shearer. Aaron Jackson down 2, started on the pole, but was very quickly overtaken when he spun the tires. Udding still holding steady where he started the race in 4th, as he's starting to lose the top 3. Dakota Kramer in 5th. We talked about up 8 spots. Sturgill in 6th right now, up 1 from the beginning. Burkhart starting to pass some cars here. Got around the 23 of Van Scoik, who is sitting in 8th right now. And the 98 of Christoph Hall, 9th, with Ramsdale making his way back into the top 10, after having the issues there at the end of stage 2. A little bit of tire smoke there from the 94 getting into the corner just a couple of times, which has allowed the 93 to catch back up. Who overdrove the corner just a little bit there. You saw the car push up. Not sure if he meant to do that or not. Maybe that's not tire smoke. He might be just barely scraping the wall. Yeah, it doesn't sound like he's locking the wheels up at all, so I just scraped the wall just a hair. Riding along up front with Reynolds, looking to put Crane a lap down here, which is not going to fare well for Sammy. Just ahead, who's even looking to possibly go 3 laps down here before the end of the stage. But if a car like Crane here goes a lap down, that's going to keep him from getting the lucky dog. So depending on how good of friends the 36 and the 43 are, the 36 might be trying to hold that field up just a little bit, because number one, he doesn't want to go a lap down, and if he wants to try to help Sammy out, which is unfortunately not going to happen. He cannot hold him off any longer. The top 3 go right around Crane in turns 1 and 2, and now the 94 has his sights set on the 43 to try to put him 3 laps down. And we have a caution. Not sure if that'll be the end of the stage here. This Kramer is involved in an accident. See if we can find out what happened. Heading into turn 3 here. He's just gonna get loose on entry. Tried to save it and overcorrected to the outside wall. Lets the field pass and gets it straightened back out. So we'll have to see if that's the end of the stage. I don't think it should be. If I had to guess, we should have about a 2-lap shootout. Possibly. Nope. Everybody's coming down pit road, so that's going to be your stage. Like Livingston is going to stay out here. So even if Sammy wanted to get the free pass, oh, he's going to come in now. So he may still be able to get it. Which will give him one of his, well, he'll get the lucky dog anyway. No, he won't, because Crane did. Or should have anyway. We'll just have to find out. That stage is definitely going to move Burkhart and Udding up above Burrell, so he's slightly putting himself now into a win or done situation. So he got 0 points, and Burkhart, who he was 1 point away from or tied with, got 6. I believe wasn't ready for them to pit. I didn't know the stage was over, so I didn't quite get the points when I wanted to. But it is a very tight race there. About 3 of your drivers are now win or done when it comes to racing for a championship at this point. As Ramsdale is going to take over the lead. The lights are off on the pace car. We're going to go to lap 125. We're going to have about 71 laps to settle this thing out and find out who our final 4 are going to be. So they head into the Geico restart zone once again. 97 of Ramsdale is going to get a great jump. And for the first time, somebody's going to beat Reynolds off the start. Even starting in second place, the first one he was able to get the lead, but not this time. So we're going to have a new leader for the first time in a long time. And now we'll see if Reynolds has the car to get back to the 97 and take that lead back. Still in line behind him is Shearer and Jackson, Udding, Charles Van Scoik, and Burkhart. These positions have not changed much since the beginning of the race. The big difference right now is that leader right there in the 97, who is going to need to win this thing to get himself into the playoffs. So he's put himself in a position to possibly do that, of course, being the leader right now. But the question will be if he can still be there in about 68 laps. You see the damage on that car, and he blinked. He's back. Thank gosh. Uh-oh. Don't disconnect, Ramsdale. Come on. He's blinking once again. He's probably getting close to getting a warning to have to move here if that blinking doesn't stop, and that would be a dagger to his playoff chances. So just for the sake of this race and with what's going on right now, I really hope that connection smooths out so that he can hold the lead here. 94 takes a little bit different line to the corner, arcs it just a little bit more, trying to find a line to be able to gain that ground to the 97, who's fallen about a half second back, but that could also be to that blinking. He's afraid to get up to him because he doesn't know where that car's going to be. He doesn't want to take the chance of net code. A lot of things playing into factor here. Looks like the 97's still blinking out front. But it is what it is, so we'll see what happens. But Shearer's still riding around in third place here. I expect to see him making a move here towards the end of it. He doesn't care how many laps he leads. He just wants to lead the last one. Aaron Jackson here sitting in fourth. Got a lot of stage points today, so that's definitely going to help his case for the championship. Ricky Udding in fifth still. Charles Van Scoik in sixth. Putting a lot of pressure on these drivers up here. Second through sixth, all just kind of bumper to bumper. Burkhart a little bit of a gap away from the 23. Dakota Kramer had that spin earlier, back up into the 8th position. Christoph Hall right behind in the 9th position. Philip Schmitz, haven't seen much of Phil yet this race, but he's made his way now into the top 10. And we'll see if he's got anything for these drivers to try to gain some more positions. Still one of my favorite paint schemes, though. Looks like he's got a pretty good race line going. Just got a little left front damage. That could be affecting that car a little bit. But we're going to see pretty much every car on the track with damage here at some point, I'm sure. 97 still out front. Reynolds in second, but has closed the gap on the 97. We'll see if he attempts to put a bump and run on here to get that lead back, or if he's just going to ride in second until maybe they have to make a pit stop. Riding along here with Christoph Hall, Dakota Kramer to the outside. Philip Schmidt's looking into the inside of the 41. 41 looking to lose a couple positions here, but Phil's going to give him a little bit of a break. Getting into the corner. Gets to the rear bumper of the 41. Once again gives him a break. If I'm Dakota, I'm definitely thanking Phil for that one. He definitely had the opportunity to force the issue and get a position. Burkhart currently sitting in 11th. Very close to the line for points. Sounds like we got a spinner. Not sure where it happened. It's not giving me... an incident on track. And it looks like everybody's car is straight. That should put Sammy Harrell back on the lead lap, as long as he was not the cause of the caution. Let's see if we can... I hear a car somewhere. It sounds like they're spinning or sliding. And I just don't see it, so I am not sure why that caution came out. Anyway, no clue why the caution came out. But that's going to give us about 57 laps as of right now to the end of this thing. Handful of cars have made their way down pit road. Sammy Harrell has gotten back on the lead lap. So that's going to be big for him, as he needs to try to go win this thing. Or hope that some of the other drivers have trouble and he can get a good finish. But Ramsdale is still holding on to first place. Obviously, he's going to be the leader of the playoff drivers right now. Your playoff driver lineup is Jackson is in third. Budding is in fourth. Van Scoik is in fifth. Burkhart in 83. He's in ninth position. Burnett is in 13th. Again, he is also a win or out situation along with Harrell there for the most part, as well as Ramsdale. And Ramsdale has given himself the track position. Now he's just got to drive the wheels off that thing and hope that he can hold on to it, and maybe he can create enough of a gap where somebody can't try to do that Old school bump and run on the last couple laps to try to get a win away from him. Lights are off on the pace car. They will double file. The 97 will take the inside line for the restart. He will have control of the restart once they get into the restart zone. And we'll see if the 94 has anything for him on this restart, as he's been very good. He does not have his teammate behind him anymore. So that's a little bit of a change of scenery for him. And the 94 is actually going to spin the tire. So this is going to give Jackson the opportunity now to get to the inside. And the 94 is going to get stuck up top here. He's going to lose a few positions. Possibly. If Udding can stay to the inside. The 94 is going to swing way up high there. He's going to get back on the gas. Going to be able to get in front of the 2 and get back to the inside. So he'll hold third position. A little bit better than I thought he was going to fare there, as he's going to look now to the inside of the 12 to try to get that spot back. Not going to be able to do it. Jackson will hold on to second. Udding in fourth right behind the 94. Charles Van Scoik holding on to fifth with Kramer right behind. Bud Shear trying to make his way back through the field, and someone is spinning. That was the leader. Oh boy. So, and I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it. I mean, he just turned him. Let's see. The 97 doesn't quite get to the bottom. Locked it up. Okay, yeah, he didn't just turn him. 97 overdrove the corner, locked up the tires, pushed up the track, and the 12 got there. That's just racing at Martinsville. I don't think it was anything intentional from the 12. It's just when you move up the track, you got to take what you can get, as that car behind. Tough track to pass. And most of the time you got to do a bump and run. Unfortunately, that one looks bad on the 12, but it's really not. Philip Schmitz makes his way onto pit road. Richard Crane is coming into pit road. Gerald Livingston, Sammy Harrell. A little bit of nose damage there. He's on his way out of pit road. And your leader right now is that 12 of Aaron Jackson. Teammate will be right beside him here for the restart. That's the 2 of Udding. He's set himself up in a very close position as well with the amount of stage points he's gotten. But I'm sure he wants to get that win to really just know he's got himself locked in. So we should be coming here to 1 to go very shortly. And there it is. Lights are off on the pace car. They'll double file up. And now we're going to have about 46 laps to the end. I'm sorry, 42. Pace car dives off as they head into turn 3. They'll go all the way through the corner here into the restart zone. 12 gonna get a much better jump than we saw from before when he was spun the tires a couple times. Gonna clear the 2. Gonna take the lead. So we're gonna have a new leader here under green flag conditions, as it was the 97 before, the 94 before that, and now we have the 12. Ricky Utting still holding on to second, but here comes Reynolds trying to make his way back to the front. Charles Van Scoik in 4th, and then Bud Shear currently in 5th. Another car trying to make his way back up to the front. A little bit of damage to the rear of that car, to the right side, left side. Where isn't there damage on any of these cars? 23 smacks the wall out of turn 4. Definitely hurt the rear of that car. The bumper's starting to come apart a little bit. But once again, we are on a short track. You can still drive this thing with damage. Christoph Hall in the 98, one of your 2 Sweetwater cars on track. The other one being the 24 right there of Sturgill, with the 41 to the outside and the Monster Energy. Gonna overshoot the corner a little bit. Livingston looking to the inside, and he's gonna take that position away from the 41, so that'll put him into 13th, up 1 from where he started. Ramsdale after that unfortunate spin in contact with the 12. He is finding himself back in the 9th position, so he's got a little bit of work to do. Sammy, another driver looking to get a win here, is up to 7th. Burkhart up to 6th. Just looking to have a good points day here. Riding along again with the 23. Trying to see if he can make a move on the 94 to try to get that position away and see if he can make a run at the other 2, as the 94 and the 2 both go up to a little bit of a different line. 94 almost gets the back bumper of the 2. Seen a lot of patience out of these drivers today, and that is something that's not too common here at Martinsville. Usually see a lot of people getting moved out of the way. The 2 is going to hit the wall. 23 able to avoid him. That's going to get him stuck on the outside here. 2 is going to fall in line. So the 23 of Van Scoik gets the 3rd position away. And now he will set his sights on the 94 to see if he can go get 2nd. Riding along with Philip Schmitz here in the 11. Has gained a little bit of ground here on the 97. He's got Maurice Burnett behind him in the 8. Maurice trying to look to the inside. 97 is going to tap the outside wall, and we're going to have a caution. Richard Crane involved once again. See if we can see what happened to Richard here. Oh. Actually, the 36 was not involved. The 24 was involved. Ooh, the 24 got on the curb. Can't do that. There's where the 36 got involved. The 96 was involved. You can see the spin of the 24. This is just a separate incident. So Crane got on the curb as well and drove straight into the left side of the 96 and turned him. 2 separate incidents in 1 caution. Reynolds back out front as Jackson Shearer Utting Christoph Hall, Burkhart, Crane, all on pit road. I think everybody's coming to fix some damage, get some fresh tires. And probably take this thing to the end here, as we're going to have about 28 to go when we hit the start finish line. And this is where we're probably going to start to see a lot of bumpers getting put to the cars to get them out of the way. Like I said, 7 playoff drivers on the track here trying to make it to the championship for next Thursday at Phoenix to race for that championship and take home the season 1 trophy. '94 is going to be back out front where we saw him for a lot of the first couple stages. Vince Quick lined up to the outside into the restart zone once again. 94 going to control that restart and get a good jump, or else spins the tires, but is able to get back to the side of the 97, leaving the 23 plenty of room. And now he's got his sights set on the 94. The 11, yes, the 11 went from 10th to 5th. Had a driver or two in front of him, I believe, pit, and then gained a couple positions. It looked like they're on the restart. So good set of events there for the 11, as that puts him up into a better position than he has seen so far this race. Up 4. Dakota Kramer up 7 right behind him. So we'll see what Phil's got for this front 4, if he's able to gain some ground here on the 97 of Ramsdale. Sammy has made his way now into the top 3. He's one driver that's going to probably use the bumper if it means winning the race. We will just have to wait and find out, as we're at 23 laps to go to settle this thing. And for the most part, we've had a pretty clean race here for Martinsville. Usually these are races that, as a broadcaster, you kind of dread seeing on the schedule. But if more of them are like this one, I'm fine with it. 94 has jumped out now to about 0.7 of a second lead. Van Scoik just trying to keep the car clean, save the tires a little bit so he can make a run. I would assume, as we see Charles as a very good tire saver usually on pretty much any track. And right now, if they finish this way, Sammy is in a decent spot because Udding and Burkhart are kind of back in the field a little bit. Jackson makes his pass around the 11. You see the 83 now to the inside of the 11, as he's going to get stuck on the high side. The 98 is going to go by. The 24 is going to go by. The 2 now to the inside. So once you get stuck on that top, it is very difficult to hold your ground. So the 11, unfortunately, they're going to drop about 4 spots in the matter of a lap. And that just shows you how the top side can really hurt your race. Reynolds now out to a 1.5 second lead And these top two are on older tires. Sammy's got much pressure to about 29 lap pressure tires. But I think that damage is holding that car back a little bit with all the nose crinklage. I'm making up a word here that he's got up there. Might be just a little bit under power on the straightaways. 16 to go here at Martinsville. Reynolds still out front. Big wreck. Two of the playoff drivers involved. Another playoff driver involved. That's probably going to end the 8th race. He's already used a fast repair. The word I made up was crinklage. You know, a lot of crinkles on the hood. Crinklage? I don't know. That was a... That there was a... that's a... Yeah, that's a big wreck. Let's ride along here with Bud and see if we can see what happened. Bud's to the inside. He's got the line, hits the curb, and it pushes him up to the track into the 12. And then the chaos. I do kind of want to ride along. I'm not... Unless he had no brakes. I don't know why the 83 is backing up in front of him on the track. Yeah, I'm not sure what the 83 was doing there. If I'm the 8, I'm pissed, just to put it lightly. I don't know why the 83 didn't lock it down and let cars go by, but... Oh well, I guess. Reynolds still your leader. Van Scoik in second. Harrell in third. Big restart coming for him and Ramsdale, who are going to be in that second row. Sturgill in fifth. Christoph Hall. So row 3 going to be full of the Sweetwater cars. Ricky Udding in the 7th position. Philip Schmitz gains a couple positions. Once again, is up to 8th. Gerald Livingston up to 9th, up 5. Maurice Burnett involved in that wreck, now driving a modified. Surprised his engine is even still alive after that. The 12 of Aaron Jackson, fast repair used. Bud Shear looks like he had to use fast repair. Burkhart, fast repair used. So a lot of these drivers, if they get in any trouble anymore, could end their race. Lights are off on the pace car. 11 to go, 10 to go when we take the green flag. So we will have 10 laps to settle this race here. And I think people are going to start to be a little bit angry with each other. I'll have to keep an eye on back here between the 12 and the 93. That is where we saw that last wreck take place. And they will be right back next to each other.
Green flag.
The 97 starting to turn. Is he able to save it? No, he is not. He's going to spin out in front of people. The 11 collected. The 8, the 97, I think, just blew up from the sound of it, maybe. Sound like somebody's engine went out. And this is the Martinsville I expected to see. '97 gets into the bottom lane. Kind of And 24 was off the gas, and the 97 took a chance getting in line there and getting on the brakes so quickly. Product of Martinsville is all I can say on that one. 97 took a chance of getting in line, and it did not pay off. Now he's probably going to be driving a modified around here unless he has saved his fast repair for this time of the race. Crane still on pit road. Been there for 12 minutes. And there is the fast repair for the 97. The only thing he'll be lacking right now is track position. And he's a lap down. Sammy did manage to squeak into second position on that restart. And like I said, that's one driver that's got to win to get in. So I expect if the 94 is in front of him with a lap or two to go, that we will see how willing the 43 is to do what he needs to do to make it in. Fast repair strategy. Yeah, sometimes you just got to use them. All eyes will be on the 43 for this restart to see what he is going to do to try to put himself in position to win this race, get himself into the championship four. You may not necessarily need to win, but it's definitely going to help. 43 probably didn't get the restart he would have liked there because the 23 is going to get right to the inside of him. How hard can he drive that outside lane to keep that position? 23 not quite clear, but he will get clear here into the corner. 4 to go. Lots of stacking up behind these guys. 93 and the 12 once again next to each other. The 2 is there as well. 83 behind the 93. Back up front, Van Scoik, 3 to go. 94 out front by about a half a second. All he's got to do is run a clean line for 2 laps, and the race will be his, as he put a 10th on that lap. Van Scoik doesn't need to win. He can hold second, get those points, and he will be set. As the caution does not fly, the white flag is out. Thought we were going to have one for a second there. The 94 is going to go through 1 and 2 down the backstretch for the final time. Through 3 and 4, and your winner at Martinsville is going to be Justin Reynolds as he fishtails out of turn 4 to take the checkered flag and steal any winning in chance of any driver, as it looks like we may have had a last lap wreck here. This is after the white flag. 24 kind of comes down on the nose of the 2, slows him up, and the 93 is there with nowhere to go. The 11 nowhere to go. So once again, another clogged up situation. 24 kind of came down and clogged it up a little bit. But your winner That 94 right there of Reynolds is going to steal the victory. Not steal it. I mean, he led a lot of laps today. Showed he had a very strong car. Dominated a lot of the race. So by no means did he steal a win. He drove that thing to checkered. And the 2 and the 93 are wrecking each other. That is not what we want to see on stream. Especially when the winner is trying to sit there. Didn't care for that move. Especially when you're getting mad at the wrong driver. But is the 94's teammate out there celebrating with him as the 94 brought home the checkered flag? And Bud is out there to celebrate with him. Let's see if we can pull your winner up here. Hey, I found the right channel. Look at that. Justin Reynolds. Big win. Walk us through that final restart and just kind of how you managed to dominate this race for the most part.
So I didn't have a lot of pressure, so I could kind of just ride and kind of save the tires. But later on there at the end, I had about a second and a half lead over second place, and that caution come out, and I'm like, well, I shouldn't even, thought it was going to go green. And then we got another one, and then another one, and I was just trying my hardest to nail the restarts and get through the gears because I've been restarting in second, and if you lay it all the way down, you spin the heck out of them tires. So it's really, throttle management on them restarts, and just that's pretty much all it was trying to get out there and not let them get to your bumper because I figured it was coming if I if I let anybody close enough. But man, it worked out for the best, and I I didn't think I was gonna win this one, but man, we had a pretty good race today.
Yeah, there was a good amount of time too. You had your teammate Shearer behind you, and we know he's usually one of the favorites here at this track, because he always talks about it being his favorite track. But you were able to hold him off even when he did have a stronger car, not necessarily than you, but than the rest of the field, and was holding that second position. So that was fun to watch you guys up front managing the field, and then yeah, with you saying you were worried about getting the bumper there. I was watching it the last restart because I knew the 43. He's probably close on points, so that was the one I was like, all eyes are on this one. Will he put the bumper to you if he had the chance?
Yeah, yeah, I felt for sure if I let anybody close enough, especially the guys in the playoffs, I felt like they was definitely gonna make the move. Not saying it's a bad thing, but I was just trying to keep a big enough gap so that way it couldn't happen. And like I said, man, we got pretty lucky on that last restart and got a good little jump out there, and was able to bring it home.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty good race for Martinsville to watch and a call. I was kind of shocked by the first couple stages. Of course, like you said, we kind of had a bunch of cautions there in the final stage, but Martinsville is its own thing, and overall, it was a pretty fun race to watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely go back and watch because I heard some things over the radio in them last few cautions, so I don't know exactly what went down, but there were some tempers flying for sure, and I got to go back and see what happened, man.
Yeah, I think there's a couple drivers. Hopefully, when they watch it, they'll know they were mad at the wrong driver, because saw a couple things happen, especially right near your car here on the start finish, and I think some.
Yeah, I seen that too. I'm like, man, this supposed to be for the winner. What are y'all doing?
Yeah, and I think the car that came up here to hit the other one is mad at the wrong driver. So hopefully he'll see that, and it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, watching the replay, I don't personally think it was Bud's fault, but it is their own opinion. So anyway,
Yeah.
back to your victory. Heck of a race, man. It's Martinsville, and you came out on top. Like I said, a lot of fun to watch. Congrats on the win. This is your time. Give us your shout outs.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I just want to give a big thank you to you and broadcasting, putting this thing on. All the admins, Charles, everything they do. We always come out here and have a blast. And I got to give a big shout out to my team, RBS. We come in and even though we haven't really been doing a whole lot lately, we usually practice together, and we got a good group of guys. And I just want to say thank y'all for everything y'all do as well.
Appreciate it. Once again, congrats on your win. Hopefully, we'll see you next Thursday in Phoenix with another strong race car.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, we will move on here to Sammy, who finished third. Sammy, that race looked like it had a lot of ups and downs.
Man,
Walk me through it.
was. I thought I'd ruined myself after the first stage when Ram still spun. He didn't catch back up to me when the pits opened up, and I
That's
never
what
let him back
happened.
by. So I got a 30-second penalty, green flag penalty, put me 2 laps down. I'm just hoping I did enough to make it, fight my way back to third there.
Yeah, I was trying to keep up with the points, but at the end of stage 2, I didn't know if it was the end or not, so I didn't get the exact points because it ended under caution there a few laps early.
Yeah, but definitely had a good car. Had a good car.
Yeah, you did. I watched that final restart. I was wondering if you were gonna. I mean, we all knew what was coming. Whoever could get to the leader, if they could get there. But I was definitely watching you, knowing you probably were a little nervous for points, and you would probably do what you needed to do to lock yourself in there.
If I would have started on the inside on that last restart, I might would have did a little bump and run on Justin. But
Yeah.
I felt like with Burkhart being so far back after that accident that just maybe I finished enough spots ahead of him to stay in the 4th spot. So
Yeah.
if not, more power to him and good luck to everybody that made the Final 4.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be very close on the points, I think. Especially Udding had the trouble there at the end. Let's see. Jackson, he was probably good if I had to guess. Ramsdale had the trouble. Burnett, he got up there. I think it's going to be pretty close. I can't even guess who's in there.
It's definitely going to be a tight race. But I thought it was a good race. I mean, some impatient racing, but man, it's short track racing.
Yeah, as I was kind of talking about that with Reynolds, for the most part, as a broadcaster, you kind of dread Martinsville, but this one, I would say, was actually pretty fun to call, pretty fun to watch. Till a couple little incidents in the final stage there. I think a couple of drivers, hopefully they'll go back and see they might have been mad at the wrong driver, but it is what it is. It's Martinsville.
That's right. Absolutely. And it's I mean, when you got people in the back on fresh tires and people in front of you with fresher tires, I mean, you do get very impatient when you can't just pass. So you got to bump them a little bit to get them out the way.
Holy cow. The dog just attacked my door. All right. All right, Sammy. Congrats on the P3 finish. Heck of a race. Way to recover.
Yes, sir.
Give us your shout outs.
Shout out to my team. They really helped me tonight. Just when I needed to get by, they let me by without any incident. And just my team and Charles for the heck of a job he does running this league.
10-4. Once again, congrats on the P3 finish, and we'll see soon enough if you made it to the Final 4.
Yes, sir. Have a good night. Good job.
You too. All right, we'll see if we can get a hold of Charles here. Charles, you got a copy? All right, looks like he is away from the mic. All right, we'll see if he jumps up here in the waiting room or not in a few minutes. After we go through just kind of talking about the race here. So Charles Van Squark, what's your P2 finisher? If he shows up, we'll interview him, give him a couple minutes. after a long, hard fought Martinsville race. Sometimes you just need a break. But Reynolds, once again, your race winner. Came out, led a lot of laps, dominated the race the first couple stages, and then ended up getting back to the front here at the end and was able to snag the win on a couple last restarts there. He was able to hold off the field. Points are going to be very close. Do not have your final counts yet. The drivers will know very soon. And then next week at Phoenix, we'll have that championship race where stage points mean nothing. All that matters is finishing in front of the other 3 drivers that are in the championship. But overall, like I've kind of mentioned in these interviews, pretty good Martinsville race compared to what I'm used to seeing at Martinsville, because it's usually just kind of a caution fest. There was a few string together tonight, but overall, very good race from the drivers. Like Sammy kind of mentioned, there's a couple impatient moments, but for the most part, 125 laps of pretty good racing here. That just kind of shows you how the GOAT Racing League has come through an entire season, and we can go to Martinsville and have such a good race because these drivers, for the most part, show a lot of respect to each other on the track. Of course, there's always some heated moments, and those things are just going to happen. But Justin Reynolds, once again, your winner. Like I said before, on to Phoenix next week for the championship, so we will see you then. And until then, stay healthy and stay safe. And if you can, please say a prayer for Anthony Zirkle, who was not up here in the booth with me tonight, as he is spending time with his grandma, who is sick in the hospital. So he was unable to be with us tonight. So please say a prayer for Anthony. And we wish all the best to him and his family. And with that, we will see you next week here on Skull Key Esports.